Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we discuss a 2008 limited edition of 100 pieces in grade 5 titanium. From Chopard, this is the L.U.C Chopard Tech Strike 1. The first Chopard chiming watch was the Strike 1 of 2006. 2 years later, something a little bit more forward-looking and adventurous was issued. Mechanically the same, but in terms of aesthetics, a step forward and more of a step into the modern era. The Tech series of Chopard watches take the standard models and make them a little bit more avant-garde, adventurous, and provocative, and that's exactly what we have right here. So grade 5 titanium, and you can see that the watch is best described as 40.5 millimeters in diameter, 11.2 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 49.1 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. One oddity, the watch is definitely grade 5 titanium, but Chopard equipped them with stainless steel buckles. So if this seems a little bit incongruous, it is, but it is correct. You can also see that the buckle is held to the strap using a screw and a bar. And yes, I did check, they are real screws and a real bar. Chopard branded. And then we have blended lugs that are rather sheer in profile, somewhat squared off on their end. Everything here is polished. The bezel stepped in a little bit to visually thin the watch. This is the on-off switch for the striking system. It's an hour striker. We have the L.U.C Chopard crown. And then we have a relatively flat domed bezel. Taking a look at the dial, we have a gray guilloche section, but then we also have this elaborate polished frame or grille that surrounds the entire visible mechanism, but then also the edges where we have individual stylized Roman numerals, including a watchmaker's 4, and then these dart style or delta style indices. We have delta style hands at center, and I know you're wondering, and the answer is, yeah, actually it does have some lume. The watch features an unusual scrolling media blasted seconds disc, and you can see the finishing is top grade. This is real reductive guilloche, not stamped guilloche at the center. And then the decoration of the movement where you can see it on the dial side is as good as anything you'll find in the business. That would give Laurent Ferrier a run for its money. You also have a little sapphire disc for the hour striker, and that allows you to activate and deactivate it. So if you wish, it's quite easy to sound the alarm for your friends so they can hear it in action. And it will always chime on the hour. Now, other things to note here. Well, we have little flashes of blue at center and then a flash of red. We'll pull the crown out all the way, and you can see the watch has a stop seconds function. The watch also features a quick set date, so you can rapidly cycle the date if you wish to do so. Note the use of a sapphire disc for the alarm on-off indicator, and then the combination of satination and beveling on the steel parts, the engine turning on the base plate, the mirror polishing on screws with chamfered slots and circumference. Off to the side here, how the locating pegs that help to locate these linear springs on the base plate, they've been polished on their top. Really, really special stuff. You can also see that what appears to be just a frame for the seconds indicator is actually a piece of the movement that features satination and superb beveling, including in the jewel countersinks. This is a gorgeous watch. Turn it all over, and you can see this is number 95 of 100, 30 meters water resistant. I still don't recommend you swim with it. We've got a 65-hour power reserve from a 22-karat mass that winds 2 barrels. They're stacked, 33 joules, chronometer style 5-position adjustment, because guess what? It's a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. We have a 4 hertz beat rate down here, and we have an overcoil hairspring, so in any position we have a more centered mass of our hairspring, so in different positions it will keep consistent time. That is the advantage of an overcoil hairspring. The finishing is world class, and although this one is not Geneva Seal, I have seen the Geneva Seal 96s, and they are no better finished than this. I don't believe there's any distinction in how these parts are decorated. I think one just has the seal and one does not, and that might be down to where they're manufactured, because remember, you have to have some threshold level of Geneva assembly to have the Poinçon de Genève. So just keep that in mind. I don't believe there's any difference in the decoration of this versus the Geneva Seal examples. The bevels are beautiful and clearly rounded. The screw heads are also polished with chamfered slots and circumference. We have beveling in the jewel countersinks. We have engine turning in several sizes on the base plate, mirrored polished steel swan's neck fine adjustment mechanism. Everything going on here is best of the best and exemplary. And again, a 65-hour power reserve and a micro rotor. This movement has a bit of an alphabet soup name, but I do think that you're going to find that the caliber, I think it's the caliber 96 SHT-AUT, is as fine as any Chopard movement in the August line descended from that original Michel Parmigiani execution from 1996. This is a very cool watch that offers incredible value. This is the kind of thing you buy because you're not going to be goaded into paying more for a more hyped watch, and I think the finishing is flatly better than what you'll get from standard Holy Trinity watches, and I think it's even on a plane that deserves comparison to Romain Gaultier and Laurent Ferrier and La Fabrique du Temps. It's that good. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.